Hello everyone, welcome to our Python for Data Science course. In this course, we'll learn how to use Python to analyze data, find insights, create visualizations, and eventually build a real-life data science project. We'll do multiple projects, not just one. The best part with this course is that you don't need to install anything on your computer. We'll be using Google Colab, a free cloud-based platform provided by Google that allows you to write and run Python code directly in a browser. By the end of today's lesson, you'll know what Google Colab is, how to write and run Python code, how variables work, and we'll also discuss some basic data types. And at the end, we'll do some basic calculations in Python. So without any delay, let's start. So let's understand what Google Colab is first of all. So Google Colab is an online coding notebook. You can think of it as a digital notebook where you can write code, execute it, and see results immediately without even installing anything on your computer. So what data scientists do is they use notebooks because they allows us to mix code, explanations, visualizations, and results all in one place. To create a new notebook, what we can do is you can go to collab.research.google.com, like you can see on the screen. Go to this site and click on new notebook over here. You can go to file and click on new notebook, or you can just directly right. You can just like that in the beginning only you will get a pop-up of creating a new notebook instead of doing this. So you can do that as well. So let's start with the first Python code. So we'll go here. So what I'll start from the beginning. You can click over here. You will get this box here. In this box, you can type whatever code you want to run. And if you want to run, want any text to come, you can click on this and you'll get a text box. So this is how Google Colab works. So let's start with the basic Python code. Print so let's see if we run this, what do we get? So one thing about Python in Google Colab is that it runs with using Google's cloud. So of course it might take a little bit time to connect in the beginning, but so we can see that it ran and we saw hello data science as an output. So let's understand how Python runs code. So very important thing about Python is it runs code from top to bottom. That makes it very, very simple. We have learned about SQL, but SQL has a very different kind of approach in running code. But when it comes to Python, it runs code from top to bottom. So for example, if I write print hello, and in the next line, I write print I am learning data. I'm learning data science. So if we do this, we can understand, of course, it's very self-explanatory that first this line of the code was executed and then this line of the code was executed. This makes Python very easy because the sequence is from top to bottom. Let's understand something. Let's do some basic calculations to understand how simple and straightforward Python actually is. So we'll do something basic like 5 plus 3. So we know that when we'll run this, we'll get 8. So this is a very basic calculation. Okay, so we understand Python can be used to do simple calculations. You can tie this into the numbers as well. You can do this 20 divided by 4. See what you get. You get 5.0. Okay. Let's understand some cool things. What does it mean? Like what when we are trying to write 3. So what will this give us? So when we do this, it gives basically, it means 2 to the power of 3. That means 2 is cubed in this. What basically it is returning is it will return something which will give us 2 times 3, no, 2 times 2, no, 2 times 2 times 2 again. So in this part we are doing the same operation as this. So 2 to the raised to the power 3 means this, exactly this. So instead of writing this again and again, we can just make 2 asterisks or 2 star signs and write it, write the power right away. So let's do this. Again, we see that the result is same. So let's understand what do we do to get remainder in Python. If I'm dividing, let's say 15, well, we divide 15 by 4. The answer is of course 12, but the remainder is 3. So what do we do if we just want to find out remainder? So we will use the percentage sign. Okay, let's see. So it gives us the percentage sign will give us, or modular sign will give us 3 as the remainder. That is what if we used to calculate the remainder. So let's understand what variables are. Instead of typing these numbers every time, we can use variables. What variables are? Variables are basically something that allows us to store information. Okay, you can think of variables as labeled box. So say variables are labeled boxes that allow us to store information. So let's look at it. Instead of saying, let's take an example of any of these examples that we took. So instead of saying hello, let's say, or let's take a variable. You don't have to declare a variable. Python will automatically declare the variable on its own, like, or it will identify the variable on its own. So let's take intro is equal to I am learning data science. So now we have created a variable that has information about your intro basically. Okay. Let's see what happens when we print it out. Print intro. Let's see. So basically what we did was we created a variable. We stored this information in that variable, and every time we call out that variable or print that variable, we will get this information. All right. So we can also do something like this. We can make it print age plus, let's say age plus 12. Let's see what do we get from this. So we are getting basically 19 plus 12 is 31. So we understood if there is a variable, we stored this information inside that variable and we got a proper output from this, right? We can use it for calculations as well. let's look at some data types. So data types, there are multiple data types in Python. So we'll look at the three data types over here, which is integer, float, and string. Let's understand integer. We'll look at the float, and we'll look at string. There are also other data types as well, but we'll look at these three. So let's understand what data types are. So integer is basically a whole number. Let's say year is equal to 1998. Okay, 1999. Let's make it like this. And of course, when it comes to float is a decimal number. So let's say time spent is equal to 20.5. So basically it is a decimal float. Okay. And now we get a string. String is basically a data type that stores text. A cool thing about string is that it is always starting and ending with inverted commas. Let's say we talk about address. So if I just write Delhi, it will give me an error. Let's see, let's try it out. See, it gives me an error. So for something to be defined as string, it needs to be starting and ending with an inverted comma. Let's try it again. Address is equal to Delhi. Let's see. So it has run and it has understood that Delhi is an string in this time. Now we have understood what data types are. We can also use Python to check what a data type actually is. Let's see. Well, for example, we have a variable and we need to check what kind of variable is it. So we will use the term type for it. And type, let's say age. Let's see what data type was age. So data age was int. Let's do it again. For time spent, print type for time. See time spent. Let's see what it was. It was float. So it is telling me the data type also. Let's look at again. For address as well. Type for. So it was string str. So this was today's lesson. Let's take a quick revision. So what I will be doing over here is I'll be writing a code and you have to run that code and predict what will come before running that code on your own system. So that will be today's practice assignment for you guys. Let's see. So I will be writing this down. Name and now age will be 7. So num, or let's take a variable. Let's take a different variable name. Let's take type, no, tile, typ is equal to A. So what I want you guys to tell me is, if I will run this code, print type for name, print type for, okay, so it is auto completing for me. So I wanted to just predict what will be the result if I run this code. What will be the type for name, what will be type for age, one, and what will be the type for TYP. Okay, what is the data type for all of them? And also, once you know, tell me the results in the comments or whatever. Also, if also you should try other things as well. Okay, so that is enough. So that is all for today. And in the next class, I will be back with the result of this, and we'll discuss the results and we'll continue. So in today's session, what did we learn? We learned how to use Google Colab. We learned how to use Python code. We learned about basic calculations and basic variables. You also learned about 3 main data types. And in the next lesson, we will learn about user input, lists, and basic data collections. And also we will also learn about working with multiple pieces of data at once. So that is what we'll be learning in the next session. So thank you for your time.